Passing these out. My name's Athena. I'm with the City of Boston's Boston Creates Arts Initiative. So the initiative started and kicked off in June. It's for the city's first ever Arts and Culture Plan. It's with so it's with the City of Boston's Arts and Culture Office. It was elevated to the office position just this past January, so it's now a cabinet level position. And to increase funding and increase staffing for the office, they're undergoing this initiative to kind of hear more from Boston residents about what they want to see with the arts. So it kicked off in June with a town hall where over 450 people attended. It was held in JP, and it was actually the largest, what we think is the largest ever town hall around the arts in the whole country. So it was really successful. I'm a teacher person. It was really successful, and then that led to over 100 conversations that happened all throughout the city this past summer. And the way it worked, so the way it worked was we broke up the city into 16 different teams, basically along neighborhood lines. So this team would have been on the North End, West End, Downtown team. And each team had 2 chairs and a couple people that would just help facilitate conversations throughout the neighborhood. So over 1,300 people attended conversations throughout the city. We had the scheduled ones. There was at least 2 in each one of these teamed up neighborhoods. And then people were free to hold their own. So that's how we ended up getting to over 100 conversations throughout the city. So that was really, really successful. Those conversations were happening June, July, August, and just a couple right now in September. We also had focus groups, so this is where organizations were able to give their voice a little bit more. So these would be anything from colleges to local dance studios, art classes. This was all the way up to the MFA and some of the large institutions. And those were held over at City Hall. I forget the number, but it was just, we can hold it. Those were being held every couple of weeks, so there was a large participation by that as well. And the last thing was the survey, so that's what I just handed out to all of you. And the survey is much more about the people as residents as an individual, hearing about their interaction with the arts. So this was different than the neighborhood meetings where you wanted to hear what you wanted to see from your neighborhood. This is more about how you're interacting every day with the arts. Whether you're an artist or you're not an artist, even if you're not an artist, we want to hear if there's any barriers preventing you from participating in the arts. So we've had over 2,700 respondents to the survey, but unfortunately we haven't heard from different neighborhoods equally. For example, JP has had a large number of respondents, down to the downtown team, Mattapan, Roxbury, East Boston, and Fenway, Mission Hill neighborhoods have been heard from less. So that's why I wanted to stop by today to make sure that the North End's voice was heard on this initiative. So if you could take a couple minutes, it is a little bit long. It is, unfortunately, us as a community engagement team didn't put together this survey. We know that the shorter survey is the more respondents you get, but it is lengthy because we do really want to hear from people and really want to hear about how they interact with the arts. So it takes about 5 to 10 minutes once you start getting through. I have some Boston Creates pins also that you can take home with you once you fill it out. So I really appreciate it if you take the time to do that. Even if you're not from the North End or if you're visiting from another neighborhood, you can still fill it out.
Would you mind, for the benefit of those viewing online, just announcing the website?
Sure. Also, I forgot I have pens and stuff. So it is available online. I would ask that you fill it out here, though, so I can just take it back right away. So it's available online at www.bostoncreates.org/survey. It just is only available for the next, I think it's next week or so. So if you fill it out right now, then I can make sure that it gets there on time. If you wait to take it home, then you might forget and the week will pass by. So yeah, so does anybody need pens? I'll answer any questions also. So the, yes, sorry.
In terms of the other neighborhoods?
In terms of the survey respondents, it was, it's pretty low. So we were trying to get it proportional. Does anybody else need pens? We're trying to get to proportional, so the North End, we wouldn't expect it to have as many as Dorchester. But It was really low. Last time I looked, it was just in the low tens. So we definitely wanted to bump that up a lot. So yeah, so like I said, this is wrapping up next week is the survey. The survey was the last piece of it that's wrapping up. At the end of the month, there is going to be a second town hall. And the purpose of the second town hall is to come back with some early findings. That's just kind of like early analysis. It'll look at the survey, it'll look at the responses from the community conversations, and kind of come back to the community and say, hey, this is what we're hearing, and does it sound right? Did we miss something? So that'll be at Bunker Hill Community College, October 31st on Halloween, 10 a.m. in the morning, 10 to 12. So it's going to be more workshop where we'll break it down. You'll get to go to different workshops with different people. One of the workshops will be a panel with some of the chairs, so you can hear from them about the process. So it'll be broken down that way. So we hope other couple hundred people will attend that. And then a draft of the plan will come out in January. And at that point, we'll do another very small round of community engagement again. And so January, going into the winter, we'll do another round of community engagement, and then the final plan will come out in June. And it'll come out during the American for the Arts Conference. It's a national arts conference that's held once a year, and Boston is hosting it next year. So at that conference, Boston will announce its plan, which due to our large-scale community engagement and also due to our arts capital framework, which is much more based on art, how it interacts with the individual and interacts with neighborhood-based organizations, is going to be very different from the way cities and communities typically do it, because those are usually based on the very large institutions, like MFA-style institutions. So that's basically it. I'll stay around because I know it's kind of a little lengthy of a survey, but I really would appreciate if you could fill it out. If you can't fill it out and you have any blank ones, please give them back, because it takes a lot to print these. So we only printed a certain amount of them, so I can definitely take back any blanks. Anybody else have any questions?
Do you want to go through the slides that you did?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let me see if I missed anything. No, the only thing is, I mean, when we talk about arts, it's really, really broad in this initiative. So when we're filling this out, it's anything from cooking, singing music, going to a concert. Let me see. There was an older woman who filled it out, and she's like, I never do any arts. And then at the end of it, she showed me her bracelet, and it turns out she does arts and crafts at her local community center. And she's like, look at all the bracelets I'm making. And I'm like, you participated in arts in your local community center. So do try to think a little kind of outside the box. You'd be surprised what arts you might participate in. Let's see, there's a couple more slides, but oh, there's a number. There's 500 different community leaders from different education, business, health, philanthropic sectors participated in the focus groups that I mentioned. There's 2 more slides. So those are the neighborhoods I listed we still haven't heard from. And I think the last one was just the timeline. Yeah, so the timeline, yeah, like I mentioned, March to May, then we'll do a second round, and then June next year, the plan is coming out actually.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.